think that the measures that we've announced are about doing what the British people want us to do as a government. That's why the Prime Minister made stopping the boats one of his core 5 pledges at the beginning of the year. That's why I've been working pretty much every day since I was first appointed as Home Secretary on this set of measures. So whether it's introducing new measures in legislation in our illegal migration bill, whether it's a new deal with Albania, pursuant to which we've now relocated over 1,000 people back to Albania, or whether it's our deal with the French, or whether it's bearing down on the backlog, or whether it's new sites for accommodating asylum seekers. On a whole range of measures, we've been working on a plan that is going to fix this unacceptable problem. That being 45,000 people arriving here illegally last year, over £6 million being spent a day on hotel accommodation. That is an unacceptable situation. So this is what the government is focused on.
At this stage, are you ruling out leaving the ECHR?
My personal views are very well known. This government is not leaving the ECHR. We have put forward measures to ensure that we maintain some level of power over our immigration policy. That's what the British people would expect. We need to be able to have the ability to remove people, to relocate people who have come here illegally, who have abused our laws, who have broken our rules, and who shouldn't be here.
Yesterday, the Immigration Minister said that uncontrolled migration threatens to cannibalise compassion in this country by importing different lifestyles. What do you think he meant by that?
What he means is that unprecedented and uncontrolled illegal migration is placing unacceptable strains and pressures on communities all around our country. Whether it's a hotel which has now been fully occupied by asylum seekers, whether it's the cost to the taxpayer, whether it's the criminality which is very closely linked to many people coming here illegally. We see that there are many people coming here illegally who are then getting involved in drugs, who are getting involved in violent crime, who are getting involved in prostitution. All of that is at odds with British values. All of that is unacceptable behaviour. We need to deter people from making the journey in the first place. That's why I encourage everybody to get behind our measures in the bill.
So you think people that cross the channel in small boats have different values to the British public?
I think people who come here in a small boat are behaving unacceptably. They should not be getting in a flimsy plastic dinghy in the depths of winter at night, putting their own lives at risk, sometimes putting other people's lives at risk, paying thousands of pounds to a people smuggling gang in the hope of a life in the UK. That is not acceptable behaviour. It is breaking our rules. It is abusing the generosity of the British people, and that's why we need to stop the boats.
Can I just get clarity on what you mean when you say you want to stop the boats? Because my understanding is that doesn't mean getting the number down to zero anytime in kind of the short or medium term.
I think it will be very obvious to reasonable observers as to whether we've succeeded in our pledge to stop the boats. If you look at other countries who have succeeded in challenges relating to illegal migration, like Australia, they did manage to dramatically reduce the number of illegal maritime arrivals when they delivered a scheme very similar to the one that we are planning to. So I think stopping the boats is going to be, it's very clear, it's very simple what it means, and I think the British people will understand when we achieve that.
You say it's clear and simple. Will you set a target for where you want the numbers to be this time next year?
I think it will be very obvious to the British people and the public as to whether we've succeeded.